Okay, so first things first, I just want to stress the point that every time I make these reviews, it's straight after I come back from football, and you can't improve it yet because still got my shin pads on. Okay, so first things first, Hinazuki's alive again. Yes! So the episode opens up, obviously Satoru's getting arrested, he sees the killer, and he's like, no, this can't be the end, I have to go back one more thing, I've still got things I need to do. And he actually is able to force himself into revival, which, it was awesome. He wanted it enough, and he was able to do it. Yes. So when he wakes up, he's actually back at the museum, back in time, standing next to Hinazuki. He looks at her, sort of smiles, and then just starts crying. And she calls him an idiot because she doesn't know what's going on just yet, but it was nice. He describes this as his final revival. He's pretty sure that he won't be able to do this again, so he knows this is his last chance. This is the final time he's going back. This is like the third time he's lived this through. He lived his original, he lived his repeat where he fucked things up, and then now he's living his, hopefully the last one where we get to see results. Now Kenya, his blonde friend, says to him at one point, have you read the book Pose the Switched Man or something like that? Can I have it back? And Satoru's like, oh, this is like however many years ago, I don't really remember lending this book. And he says like, no, I don't remember that. And I honestly thought, I kind of feel bad for it now. I thought that he's known that he's someone who's come back in time and he's somehow involved in all this killing. But now I feel silly for thinking it because he's not. He realised that his friend was different to how he normally is because he's a different kind of person. Yeah, he was just testing him. It was like, he never gave him that book. He was just trying to see if he was a different person. So Kenya confronts him and says, who are you? And Satoru, I really thought he was going to tell him that he was from the future. He doesn't, luckily, because that would have been a bit too complex. It'd like been a whole thing where he's explaining it to him and stuff. So he just says that, well, I'm the same person, but I'm a hero. I'm a superhero, or at least I want to be a hero. This puts Kenya at ease. He knows that this is definitely Satoru. But it's weird how he describes it. He says, you seem like a different person. No, that's not right. You seem like the same person with like a personality added on top. So that's just like the personality he's gained through age. What I liked is Kenya says to him that ever since that day that he saw him looking at Hinazuki, he knew he was different because Kenya had seen these bruises on Hinazuki and had done nothing, and he was ashamed of the fact that Satoru, literally, as soon as he saw it, he said something straight away. He felt ashamed that he did nothing while Satoru is this person now who can just do things, and he just helped her. So yeah, he says he wants to be a hero just like him too, so he wants to help. And I think he's sincere. I don't think there's anything sinister going to happen with his character now. Fingers crossed, but yeah, I genuinely believe he wants to help him. Something that Kenya says to Satoru actually kind of stuck with me. Satoru says that he has to stop Hinazuki from getting murdered. He needs to achieve this goal. And Kenya says that, well, a superhero doesn't become a hero from getting results. Because Satoru, you're already a hero. You're making this effort to try and help someone, so you are. So that was kind of like the underlying thing I kind of thought he was trying to say. Now this is kind of like where he starts to do things like he's really putting the effort in there because he realises this is his last chance to do it. So first things he's got to do, he's got to get Yuki an alibi. So he goes to his house, he sort of says to him that you should do this or that sort of thing so that he's somewhere where he's got an alibi. And he says to Yuki, have you seen Hinazuki lately? And he kind of freaks out and he starts like darting his eyes, and I'm thinking, oh god, you're not involved in this, are you? And he like sort of blurts out afterwards saying like, I'm really glad for you, I'm guessing you've been seeing her, that's why I haven't seen her lately. And Satoru kind of saw that as, yeah, nothing, that's fine. But I don't know, I was a bit suspicious. I'm hoping there's nothing more. So he goes to the surprise birthday party that he goes to with Hinazuki. The party goes exactly as it did before, which he's happy to. And he says that if the night carries on like this, obviously, then the same result's going to happen. So this is where he starts to do things different. He pops out to walk Hinazuki home, and he also goes and he throws a massive brick with "I'm going to kill you" through Yuki's house and slashes all their tyres so that the police will come to their house. So then that's one of their alibis as well. So Yuki definitely can't get in trouble for this. Something I noticed was when he left the party, in his eyes, there was a little, like the smallest little tint of red. And I noticed that straight away, and I was like, what does that mean? Because I think someone put it in the comment section the best, where they said that the red represents passion or someone who's got a desire to do something. So obviously that could be represented by the will to kill, but it also could be the will to save someone sort of thing. So maybe red eyes aren't necessarily bad for everyone. So it's passion basically is what it represents, which gets a bit scarier later because he starts following Hinazuki's mom, and I'm pretty sure he was going to push her down some stairs at one point to make sure she doesn't beat her. He gets stopped by Kenya, but when he's about to do it, his eyes are like full on red, and It's just weird seeing the main... We've been, like, basically tailored to look out for people with red eyes because they're potential killers. That's what I thought it was at first. So seeing the main character with it was scary. But luckily Kenya stops it and says that you don't want to go down that route. You don't want to kill Hinazuki's mom, so just don't do that. I don't think he'd have done it anyway. I hope not, but, you know, he even says to him that he's willing to go to whatever lengths it takes to save Hinazuki. He could end up in jail. He doesn't care. As long as he can save Hinazuki's life, that's all that matters. Which just shows how selfless he's become, because at the start of the series, he's very, like, introverted and sort of doesn't really care about things. But now he's learnt so much from this experience. He's very caring. He asks Hinazuki if it'd be alright if he abducts her. She says, yeah, that's fine, go for it. So they go to this, like... There's like a little caravan thing, and they bring a little heater inside. Him, Kenya, and Hinazuki chilling there for a bit, and he says to her that, I've just got to pop out for a bit, I'll be back a bit later tonight. And the first thing I thought was, why would you leave? Why have you got to go? Why are you leaving there? Something's going to happen. The reason he has to go back is because he has to tell his mom, like sort of get his mom to believe that he's stopping at home. So when she falls asleep, he was going to go out, bring some food, and go down to her. This works, except for the fact that his mom very much knew something was going on, wakes up in the middle of the night and sort of sees him going off. I imagine that she probably followed him. She's going to come into play, I think, in the next episode, which we'll talk about a bit later. But anyway, he gets to the caravan and he opens the door, and I was like, please be there. And she was still there, Hinazuki, she's still fine. And then they go to bed and they wake up, and I was like, is she still going to be there? And she was. I was like, oh, thank God. And have like a moment where they slept on each other and they're like, oh, whoa, like that. You'll notice as well, this scene in the bus is very similar to the one that you've seen in like all the adverts sort of thing. So obviously this now has sort of a meaning where they're sitting in the bus, where she's asleep next to him, and there's that like handprint at the back. I'll put the picture up so you can see what I mean. So I'm guessing this is kind of like the climax of where all the events are going to start and kick off. So Satoru goes to school, and then afterwards of the night, he goes back to the bus. This time he brings the girl who everyone thinks is a boy, but it's actually a girl, or she looks like a girl, but she's actually a boy. One of them two. I can't remember which one it was. But she was like one of the people that got murdered as well, I think. And he basically takes both of them back to the caravan with her to sort of like keep them safe. And I thought things were going to be okay. When I saw how long was left in the episode, I was like, yeah, everything's fine, everything's fine. And then it cuts to this shot, you just hear these boom, 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 footsteps in the snow. I was like, oh no. Door opens. Hinazuki's asleep there. Some guys at the door. It ends. Shit. So what's going to happen in the next episode? I'm hoping that Satoru's mom's got wise to this and she's somehow there and can help things. I'm hoping that Satoru wakes up, can at least see who the killer is. Basically, this episode is one of them before the storm kind of things. Everything's kind of happy, builds up. The next episode, shit is going to hit the fan, so we're going to see how that goes. Overall, though, the episode is like a great build-up episode for the next one. I'm hyped. I can't even wait to watch next week's episode. Like, I have to do this review on the day. Like, it's really late at night now, and there's someone who lives on that side, and they probably can hear me talking, but you know, I've got to do a review, don't I? So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know your theories, thoughts, stuff. Who's that man at the door? Are things going to go okay? Do you still think the blonde Kenya lad is good? I think he's good now. Do we still think it's the teacher? Does Yuki have some ominous part in all this? What's the mother up to? Just let me know below, and thanks for watching. Now, if you enjoyed that review, I've got a whole channel of other reviews you can watch if you're interested in those as well. Just use the link in the description, you can follow them over there.